Good morning, dear students. Today we have the next lesson in our recorded lessons. As you see, this is a remote or e-learning. We are following the school's plan for e-learning. Today I'm going to explain lesson 3C. As you see the title of the lesson, what happened? What happened? What happened? Look at this question. Here I'm asking about the result. When you ask this question, what happened? You're asking about a result. For example, what could be the answer to this question? What happened? If you look at the photos here, what do you think? What happened? Maybe an accident happened. Maybe, for example, a fight between two people happened. So when you ask about the result, we ask using what happened. So look at the form of this question. We use what when we ask about the doer or the predicate, the first thing of the sentence. What, then the verb in the past form. Okay, so when we answer, how can we answer? We remove just what and put the answer. The answer will be an accident happened. Okay, so I'd like you to look here and tell me what can you guess this is about. You can see, I'd like you to look at the big font words in big letters, like Dave Stone, this is name, and Young Hero. So what do you guess the story? So do you think this is a story? Yes. Dave Stone and Young Hero. Hero means that someone who has special skills. Okay? So special skills means that he has a story. He has a story. The hero. So before we start reading the story, I'd like to ask you a question. What makes a hero? What are the features of a hero? What are the characteristics of a hero? Can we say at the beginning that he should be skilled? Yes, number one, a hero should be skilled. Should have special skills that enable him to face challenges, to face difficult situations, to face dangers, to do tasks, to help people in difficult situations, in danger. So I think another feature, rather than skills, he should have courage, should be brave. He should be able to face difficult situations, save people in danger, cares and help. So number three, he should be kind. A hero is kind for people. Humble, not proud. Never says I'm the best, I can do special skills. No, a hero is humble. He has what we call selfless, self-denial. So as you see, a hero has a lot of attributes or a lot of features, characteristics. Passion. Another thing for a hero, he should have passion, likes what he does. Because when a hero has a passion, he's gonna inspire the people who work with him. He inspires them, he motivates them to do everything challenging. So as you see, a lot of features for a hero. A hero all the time achieves goals. A hero all the time achieves goals. When he achieves a goal, he moves to another one. And the more he achieves, the more goals he achieves, the more confidence he gets. So confidence, a hero has a lot of confidence, sure about his abilities. Still the last one, that a hero has inner values, internal ethics, that moral compass that shows him the right thing to do. So do you think each one of us likes to be a hero? Do you think that? Of course, I'd like to be a hero. Who wants to be a hero with me? I think all of you, my students. Okay, let's move to the story itself. What makes a good story? If we go back to the template, this is what we call story map. Look at the story map. Here, number one, the setting. Any good story, I must start with the setting, the scene, the place where the story happens. Then the time and place. Then the characters, the people who act in the story. Then some events happen that lead to a problem. After the problem reaches the climax, the most exciting point of the story, we have what we call events that would lead to the resolution or solving the problem. Let's go listen to the story here.
3C. What happened? 1. Read. A. Below is an interview. Listen, read and tick the correct pictures A to D that show what happened.
Dave Stone, a young hero. 14-year-old Dave Stone is a local hero. Why? He saved his best friend's life. What happened 3 days ago?
Well, Colin and I went fishing on Milford Lake in the afternoon. Colin had a new underwater camera and wanted to take pictures. He saw a big fish, so he put the camera in the water. Then the boat suddenly overturned.
Did you jump in the water?
No, we didn't really jump. We both fell in. I was very worried about Colin because he can't swim.
Really? And what did you do?
I grabbed him and swam to a small island in the middle of the lake. Luckily, we were near the island.
Did you stay there during the night?
Yes, we did. Our mobiles were wet, so there was no way to call our parents. It was dark, scary, cold, and we were hungry. Colin slept for 2 to 3 hours, but I didn't sleep at all.
How did you return home?
The next morning a fisherman found us and took us home. We were very lucky.
Okay, as you see, let's start mind map about this story. So what's the setting here? The place, Milford Lake, you see? And the boat. They were on a boat. You see, a boat. They were fishing. Okay? But this is the place. What about the time? The time 3 days ago. Here, I think this is the time. Okay, 3 days ago. So, who are the characters? Dave Stone and his friend Colin. Okay, they were fishing. So let's move to the events that lead to the problem. The events that lead to the problem that they were fishing. Collins had a big camera, underwater camera. He wanted to try it, take pictures. Saw a big fish. He put the camera in the water. I think Colin his body weight, when he leaned over the edge of the boat, his body weight make the boat has no balance, or we call it overbalance. So this leads to the boat to overturned. You see, overturned. Oh, what does it mean? The boat overturned. It means to be upside down. Yani the up of the boat moved to the side. The upper part be in place of the side part, then be in place of the down part. Okay, like when the car hit a tree or get off the track, when the car is very fast and get off the track, suddenly hit a tree, it overturned more than once, moving upside down, and so on. So this leads to a problem. The boat overturned. So what's the real problem? The real problem that Dave was worried, you see? Why? What's the big problem? They fell in the water and one of them can't swim, Colin. So this is a big problem. So let's move the first problem. Maybe we have other problem, we'll see later in the story. Now, this is the big problem. What's the event that could lead to the solution of this problem that Colin can't swim? Oh, Dave grabbed him. Grab to take hold of someone strongly and pull him suddenly, and swam to a small island in the middle of the lake. Okay, so they reached the island. What's the second problem that they faced? That the mobiles were wet. Another problem. So this problem leads to the exciting point that they can't call parents. They are on the island and they had to spend the night. How was the atmosphere in the island? Dark, scary. They were hungry. I think this climax, this the exciting point. So the next problem, that hungry, scary, they were hungry, scary, cold. This is a big problem. And they can't call. What led to this problem? The mobiles, when they were wet because of the water, they fell in the lake. So why do you think that Colin slept for 2 or 3 hours and Dave didn't sleep at all? Why do you think? Because as you see, Dave was worried. So a real hero must appreciate any situation he is in. If you can't appreciate, if you can estimate the situation you are in, so you are not a hero. So why do you think he didn't sleep? Because he was worried. A hero should care for others all the time. I think Dave cares for Colin all the time. And the point that he didn't sleep, this mean, and Colin slept and he didn't, this mean that he cares for Colin. He didn't sleep because what do you think he didn't sleep? I think he was worried, and he all the night he kept thinking about a way to get to solve the problem they were in. So what do you think? As you see, any hero should have luck. You know what's luck? Luck is something that could happen by accident that helps the hero. Anything could happen by accident and he didn't expect to help him. This is what we call luck. So when do you think Dave and Collins were lucky in this story? I think number one, when the island wasn't far, you see. Ah, uh, I grabbed him and swam to a small island in the middle of the lake. Luckily, we were near the island. But the first thing that shows that they were lucky, the island was near. But what if the island was far? This means that Dave would have to swim more distance with the heavy weight of Collins. This might cause Dave to let Colin drown and not to be able to help him. So if you look at the word luckily, what do we call it? Luckily here, this is adverb, you remember? Why luckily is an adverb? Because luckily it's an adjective adjective lucky, and we add ly. And when you add ly to an adjective ending in y, like lucky, we change y into I. Luckily. So luckily adverb because it's adjective lucky plus ly. And we call it luckily. This is an adverb. We put it at the beginning of the sentence. Introduce the sentence. Why do we use it to introduce a sentence? To show that we are grateful, we are happy that good things happen to us. So do we have other adverbs like this that comes at the beginning of the sentence to show that we are happy or to show how the action happened? Here we have, if you look here, suddenly, you see? The boat suddenly overturned. Comes before the verb to show how it happened. So suddenly gives what meaning does suddenly give to you? Suddenly means something happened quickly and unexpectedly, so as a surprise. I didn't expect this to happen. This suddenly, you see. What's the second thing that happened in the story that shows that they were lucky and they were thankful for luck? That when a fisherman found them, the fisherman found them and took them home. We were very lucky. Okay, so do you think this is an excellent or a story? Do you think this story has the features of a perfect story? Yes. Okay. If we move to this part, which pictures that show what happened in the story? Think B, when he grabbed him to the island, and D, when they spend the night on the island, scary and dark. Okay. If we look at the question, I think you have answered all these questions. Why the local hero saved best friend life? Where the boy 3 days? Milford Lake. What did Colin? I think we answered this question. One, take pictures. Underwater camera. Why was Dave worried? Collins can't swim. How did Dave save Colin? Grabbed him. Did the boy sleep during the night? Only Colin slept. Who helped them return home? The fisherman. Okay. But what's the second form of fell? Sleep. I think I've studied this before. Take, took, find, found, put, swim, swam, see, so. Okay. Now I think we have, as you see, we have studied the past simple form, the past simple tense. Mike didn't fall or fell. Which one we choose? Mike didn't fall. The first form after didn't. Okay, in the lake. I fill in the second form without did we use. Did you enjoy or enjoy it? With did we use the first form? I think we discussed this before. Yes, I after yes did or didn't did, and I take or took the past. Lion go or went past to an Italian restaurant with her parents a week ago, but she didn't have or had with didn't the first form. Okay. So if we move to this part, I think we have finished this part. I'd like to explain one point. If we look here, guys, question with who and what and which. You see, who for someone, what for something, and which for preference. Preference, what you prefer. Maybe things or to some extent people. Okay, let's see the question here. When we ask who, what, or which about the object of the verb, the recipient, I ask about the object, we put the question word in front of yes or no question. Like what? He is seeing Joe tomorrow. So I ask who is he seeing tomorrow? You see? I ask who because Joe someone. But Joe here after the action. So what should I do? I put who, then the helping verb is, here is, I put it. Then the doer he, then the main verb seeing. Tomorrow. I want a computer for my birthday. Ask what do you want for your birthday? The same. A computer something. I use what? I ask using what? The computer after the verb recipient. So we use the helping verb do. Why do we use do here? Because we want the first form. Then the doer I should be I. Then the main verb want here for your birthday. Should I put computer in the question? No, because this is the answer. I prefer some tea. You see? Preference. Some tea. So the question which. Then yes or no question. I'd should be would you in the question. Okay? Then the main verb prefer. Then the preference from tea or coffee. You see? This is when I ask about the object. But here when we ask about the subject, it's very easy to make the question. Like here, Barbara gave me the chocolates. So Barbara, I'm asking about Barbara, someone. I use who. Barbara before the action subject. So I remove it and put who. Then I don't change anything else. Who gave you the chocolates? Something funny happened. Here, I'm asking about the question, what happened? So I'm asking about something before the action subject. So as you see, remove something funny and put what happened. The wild dog frightened the children. So I am asking about I'm asking about choice or choosing one from a group. Okay. So I use which, then remove the wild and put the noun. So we can follow which with the noun. Which dog frightened the children? Okay. So as I've told you, we use what, which with a noun. What subjects did you study? Which English newspaper started? What subject does everyone have to study? Which newspaper do you prefer? The Times or the Guardian? Okay. So the last point, we have talked about adverbs. I think we have studied this before. Adverbs of manner, it shows how the action happened. How the action happens. This, I put a word. I can use the adverb to tell how the action happens. We call these adverbs of manner, are usually formed from adjectives by adding ly. Bad, badly, quiet, quietly, sudden, suddenly. But sometimes there are changes in spelling. Easy, change y into I, easily. Gentle, remove le and put ly, gently. Careful, carefully. The adverbs formed from good, but good is different. Adjective good, the adverb well. Like when I say you speak English, how? How do you speak? How the action happen? Very well. So as you see, the adverb tells me how the action happened and it comes after the action. Adverbs of manner normally come after the verb, as I've told you. He spoke how? Angrily. You see, I put the adverb after the action to tell how does he speak. How did he speak? Or after the object. Maybe it come, yeah, the adverb comes after the action if there is no object. But if there is an object after the adverb, after the verb, after the action, if we have object like he opened the door here object, I put it after the object. He opened the door. How? Quietly. See? If an adjective already ends in ly, we use the phrase in then the adjective then way to express manner. For example, silly. He behaved how? In a silly way. I can't say sillily because it's already ending in ly. Friendly. He spoke. How did he speak? In a friendly way. You see? This we call adverbial phrase. Group of words that act as an adverb. After adverbs of manner have the same form, a few adverbs of manner have the same form as the adjective. You have some adverbs, guys, like the adjective. Like hard could be adjective and adverb. They all worked hard. They all worked. How did they all work? Hard. She usually arrives. How? Late or early. I hate driving. I hate driving. How? What type of driving? Fast. You see? Okay? But be careful that hardly and lately, those adverbs that have different meaning from hard and late. So hard means very strong, but hardly a little bit, very weak. Okay, late, not on time, after the expected time. After the expected time, late, but lately, short time ago. Another meaning. He could hardly walk. This means it's difficult for him to walk. I haven't seen John lately. This means short time ago. We often use phrases with like as adverbials of manner. Like she slept. How? Like a baby. He ran. How? Like a rabbit. So I can use like plus noun to shows the manner how the action happened. So we have talked in the passage about luckily, and as you see, luckily, happily, thankfully, suddenly. Those verbs could come at the beginning, introduce a sentence to, as you see, we use introduce sentence. We will begin the adverbs. We use them. Most of them we use to show that we are grateful. We are so happy that good things happened. You see? Starting with a very common adverb, fortunately. Fortunately here comes at the beginning of the sentence to introduce that when the speaker talks about good thing that happened or preventing something bad from happening. Like when I say it rained all afternoon, fortunately we were indoors most of the time. So we are grateful that we were indoors. Why? Because it rained. The which word shows that we are grateful. We are so happy that good things happened, fortunately. Okay? And luckily, happily, thankfully. But I think suddenly is different a little bit. If we look here, a car, look at the examples. A car had crashed into the shop. Luckily, no one was hurt. Yeah, but why do you think we were lucky? Because no one was hurt. Everyone was safe. Okay, so luckily shows that we are grateful. We are happy that good things happened. None of us had coats. Happily, the weather stayed fine all afternoon. Yeah, but why do you think we are happy? It was so happy for us. Because the weather stayed fine. Why do you think this made us has made us happy? Because we have no coats. If it rained, we would have got wet all over our body. Rosie was there during the terrible storm, but thankfully, she was safe. You see, thankfully, it comes before this adverb comes before the sentence. We use it when we write to comment on the sentence, shows to show that we are so happy or that good things happen. But suddenly is a little bit different. I was, as you see, checking my luggage when suddenly there was a blackout all over the airport. So suddenly here showed that something has happened quickly and unexpectedly or as a surprise. Okay. I hope that you enjoyed my lesson today. Thank you for following me and interacting. I'd like to thank all my students who are interacting with me on with the recorded lessons and the uploaded course material and the discussion room. I'd like you to send me your comments on the discussion room. Send me your comments, questions, anything you want to ask about, and take care, guys, that we are still at school. Take care that everything recorded or material on Classera, you are responsible for every single word in the final next second term exam. Hope you, all of you, to I wish you good luck till we meet again in the next recorded lesson. Thank you so much. Goodbye.